welcome back to my channel. Can I just say it's been quite a while since I've filmed a proper sit down video, so I might be a little bit rusty. Today's video is tips for dancers who are either in education or looking at going into education to study dance or performance. The purpose of this video basically is to just help. The purpose of this video is to help anybody who's interested in going into education or who is in education but maybe struggling a little bit. Within this video I would like to help people learn how to build their own confidence, and I just want to show people that dance in education isn't as bad as what we all say it is. And I'll put my hands up and admit I do complain a lot. It's always, oh, I'm too tired, and oh, my teacher's not very nice. There's always something to complain about, but it isn't as bad as what it sounds like it is. So yeah, let's begin. So I'm going to start at the beginning. So if you are a beginner and you're going into your first ever dance class, I want you to remember that everybody has been in that position at one point. Even if you go into that class and it's your first time, but for everybody else that's been dancing for 10 years, just remember that at one point in their life it was their first ever dance class as well, so you're not alone. The idea of a dance class is so that you can go in and learn how to dance. Don't put pressure on yourself to go in and already know what you're going to learn and what you're going to do, because if that was the case you wouldn't be going into that class to learn what you were going to learn anyway. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to already be perfect, because, well, first of all, nobody's perfect, and second of all, why would you need to go to a dance class if you already knew exactly what you were doing? And I'm not saying don't prepare for a class if it's your first ever dance class. For example, if it was your first ever ballet class, maybe before you go in, just Google the basic arm and feet positions so that you're not totally in the deep end, and that'll just help you a little bit. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is don't put too much pressure on yourself. Tip number 2, give it time. Don't go into your first ever dance class and expect to walk out dancing like Autumn Miller or Sophia Lucia, who have been dancing since they were too young to even remember. To be able to dance and perform, it takes time and hard work. Also, what you've got to remember is everybody's different. Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. So you might go into your first ever dance school or your first ever college or university, and you might be really good at tap but really bad at jazz. But then the person standing next to you might be really good at jazz and really bad at tap. Everybody's different, so just because you struggle in one class, it doesn't mean you're going to struggle in all of them, and slowly you will get the hang of it. And even in a style itself, you might be really good at some things but really bad at other things. So like in jazz, for example, you may be really good at leaps but really bad at turning, and there'll always be little things that you can't do, even when you have been dancing for 10 years. But it's all about learning and it's all about growing as a performer. That's the most important thing. It's not about being the best straight away. Just because you find that you can't really do something, it doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to do it. You just need to give it time, because it does take time and it takes hard work, and you need to let your body settle into whatever style you're doing and learn how to move in that certain way, especially if you've never danced before. Tip number 3, if you are already studying at a college or a university, the main thing to remember is that everyone in your class, everyone in your course is there for exactly the same reason as you. You all want to be a performer, a teacher, just something within the performing arts sector, and you're all there to do the same thing. Trust me, I know how hard it is to walk into a class of people who are extremely talented, really motivated and passionate, and just really good technical dancers and performers. I know how that feels. It can be really intimidating, but what you need to remember is if you want to be like that, you need to work as hard as they do. And when you work as hard as they do, you need to make sure you keep that going, because you're never gonna get any better if you just put yourself to the back and say, oh well, they're good, so they can go to the front because they're better than me. It's never gonna work like that. If you are the worst dancer in the room, walk to the front and put yourself at the front, because that in itself will challenge you to become a better performer, and it'll put you in a better mindset of like your confidence to be in the performing arts industry, because it's a fight. You need to shove yourself to the front. You need to be seen and heard. If you want it bad enough, you have to be passionate. Talent is an amazing thing to have, but if you don't have hard work and passion to go with that, you are never going to make it, because there is so many people who are so passionate about it that they will totally pass you in terms of talent. Also, you have to be in it for you. The person standing next to you, your best friend standing next to you, is not gonna make you successful. And it's really sad to say, because I know how it feels to have a best friend who does exactly the same thing as you, and you want to do everything together and you think we'll make it together, but it really doesn't work like that. And at the end of the day, you and your best friend are going to go to an audition together, and what happens if he or she gets it over you and you have to just let them get it? It's really hard to take, but you need to understand that the person standing next to you is not going to make you successful. Finally, for tip number 3, you can't rely on your teacher to do everything for you. You need to want it. If you go into a class and you can't even hold a 3-minute plank, then you need to go home and practice a 3-minute plank, because your teacher can do some amazing things, and teachers can be so helpful in your journey of becoming a dancer or a performer, but they can't make you do it. You have to want to do it. It's one of those things that is quite hard to get into your head, but your teacher shouting at you when you don't do something is not for them, it is for you. And they'll get to a point where they can't be bothered anymore, and they won't correct you anymore, and that's when you need to start getting worried. So you need to want it yourself, because your teacher isn't going to do it for you. Number 4, this kind of leads into what I've just said. Don't cheat yourself. This is the one thing that nobody wants to hear, including myself, but it's so true. When you're in a class and your teacher says, we're going to do 600 crunches, and everyone's like, no, I don't want to do 600, and then you're doing your crunches, and when they look away, you stop and you have a break, and then they look back and you're like, oh yeah, pretend you've been doing it for ages. As easy as that is, don't do it. Don't cheat yourself, because the teacher has already got a job. They don't need you to do 600 crunches. They just want to make you better. And if you don't want to make yourself better, then that's out of their control. So don't cheat yourself. You need to just keep pushing through. If you end up vomiting, if you end up fainting, just get through it. You'll know next time that maybe you push yourself a little bit too far, but you just need to not cheat yourself. Don't give up when you haven't even tried yet. I think it's quite important to think about it this way. So try and be that person in the class that everybody else looks at and thinks, wow, they're so good. Be that person. Be the person who does so many crunches that even the teacher's like, well done, because that should be the type of student you want to be in a class. Number 5, and this is my final tip for dancers in education. Be confident. I said this at the beginning of the video, but yes, be confident. Dance skills, abilities, technique, flexibility related tricks, they can all be taught by a teacher, and we all know that. That's why we go to classes. But confidence can never be taught. Confidence has to come from you. And if you can't build up your own confidence, then you need to worry. It's a hard one to understand, and it's a hard one to take. I say this from experience. I've had experiences of low confidence. It's something that only you can work on. I think it's important to, as soon as you start dancing, I think it's important to just be confident. Even if you are really, really bad, just be confident, because once you've got that good confidence, you can do anything. It's just the dance that you need to build. And in my opinion, it's harder to build a high level of confidence than it is to build a high level of dance technique and skills. Also, what some people don't realise is some of the best dancers, some of the most confident dancers are actually the really insecure ones, but they're just so good at hiding it. So if you can't do it yet, if you can't be fully confident yet, fake it until you make it. It's important to build on your abilities as a dancer, but it's also important to build on your ability to perform and just be confident in everything you do. Without performance and confidence, you will not only struggle at college and university, but you will struggle in the industry as well. You'll be in a room for an audition full of people who are the most outgoing, cocky people you will ever meet. And some of them are actually really lovely, but they are there to get that job, and you need to be there to get that job as well. So you need to be confident, you need to perform. And the last thing I'm going to say for tip 5 is when you're in a dance class and you don't feel that confident, just be as confident as you can, give it your all, and if it's too much, the teacher will tell you it's too much. In my opinion, I would rather a teacher tell me to calm down with performance and with dancing as well, rather than for them to say, you're not giving me enough. Because I feel like calm down is easier to do than add more and add more and add more. It is really hard. So try and get yourself in a confident mindset and try and just give it your all when you get there, and it will really help, I promise. So yeah, that's 5 tips for dancers who are either in education or going into education. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to make something dance related again because my story about how I started dance was actually really popular. It's one of my most popular videos on YouTube right now. So I wanted to make something else about dance, and I wanted to create something that might help people and that might inspire people to just be themselves and be confident. I know this is something that I could have done with when I started college, because my confidence was so low and my dance ability was really low. But yeah, I really could have done with some tips, just a little guide of how to get through it. So yeah, I hope if you are going into college or university, or if you are studying already, that these tips help you a little bit. I'm not perfect, nobody is, but we can work hard to be the best performers, to be the best dancers that we can be. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday with a vlog. My life's a little bit upside down right now, so I apologise for not posting on Wednesday, and I'm not 100% sure if I will be able to film and upload a vlog for Wednesday. If there is something that anybody would like to see that I could replace with Wednesday's vlog, please let me know, and I might replace it with another video like this. If not, then I will film a vlog. Hopefully I can get one up on Wednesday. So yeah, I will see you then. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Goodbye! Why do I say M so much? My neighbours must think I am crazy talking to myself.